Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For the final test of this semester and to fulfill it, this video I took is a resume of what I read. I chose this article because it's quite interesting. The title is The Origin of Name. Humanity's unique identity is exemplified by the concept of individual identity, which is a fundamental prerequisite for human language. While cetaceans such as whales and dolphins have been urged to have language and self-conferred names, this remains debatable. Great apes such as chimpanzees and gorillas have been successfully taught American Sign Language, indicating an innate aptitude for language acquisition. However, apes do not use name in the same way as humans, suggesting that the custom of naming is unique to humanity and likely emerged in prehistoric antiquity. Anamastic, a specialized branch of anthropology and linguistics, studies name and naming practice. Personal names are abstract linguistic symbols for individual, often given by parents or clan leaders at birth. This name can serve various purposes, such as invoking supernatural power, identifying with ancestors, describing trait, or making an event. Before written language, personal names were purely spoken and could be chosen for euphony. In traditional cultures, names could change at various stages of life, as seen in Native American and other Aboriginal culture. Personal name also held totemic power, meaning that those who invoked them could gain power of them. To avoid this, people give their true name secret, creating nickname or public name. With the advent of written language, civil record and formal histories become more complicated, leading to the fixation of personal names. However, naming practices were highly variable and defy easy generalization. In prehistory and early antiquity, a mononym was sufficient the most member of society. In the Christian era, personal names were given at baptism, identifying individuals are adherents to Christianity and members of the Universal Church. Roman naming practices were a combination of personal and family names, known as the tria nomina or three names. This convention evolved from the 7th century BC to the end of the 7th century AD. This significantly influenced later European naming conventions, many of which survive in modern culture practice. The most important element of the tria nomina was the nomen gentilicium, a hereditary name identifying a person as a member of distinct gens. The nomen was usually followed by filiation or patronymic, derived from the personal name of a particular individual father or the antecedents. The tria nomina was commonly expanded to include 4 or more names, such as Quintus Fabius Maximus Veronicus Contactor. However, the system decayed following the collapse of the Western Empire, with the praenomen becoming rare in writing sourced by the 4th century and retained only by the most conservative elements of the Roman aristocracy by the 5th century. By the end of the Republic, the majority of Roman women either did not use praenomina and were called by their nomen alone, or by combination of nomen and cognomen. In modern Western society, personal name and surname can be considered modern adaptation of the nomen, with nickname being the closest analog. The modern middle name has no Roman analog, unless it used instead of the first as the primary designation of an individual, in which case it can be regarded as corresponding to the praenomen. In the medieval period, most people in Europe were identified by mononym or single proper name. However, in the later Middle Age, it became necessary to distinguish individuals with the same proper name by an additional non-hereditary informal name or bname. These bname are generally of four different types: patronymics or matronymics, locative, occupational or social, and characteristic. Patronymic identify as individual as the son or daughter of a particular father, while matronymic identify an individual as the son or daughter of a particular mother. There are three main patronymic forms in English: unmarked patronymic, marked patronymic, and the third form. Locative bnames identify an individual by the place where the person lived, worked, or was born. They can be classified into toponymic and topographic form. Toponymic bname derive from a name locality and often incorporate a proper noun. Topographic bname do not include proper noun and are derived as a concise description of a local place or natural geographical features. Opportunistic and social bname identify an individual by occupation or social status. Example this bname include John Smith. Bnames referring to rank and social status also appear with an article. Ethnic name overlap between locative and social bname, identifying an individual by nationality, religion, or ethnicity. In the Middle Age, national group may be associated with much smaller geographical region than the nation-states of the modern world. The fourth type of informal name, characteristic bname, encompass instances that are inconsistent with any of the first three types. In French, articles were arbitrary and sporadic, but articles essentially disappear after 1400. Common characteristic subtypes can be identified as denoting physical, mental, or moral characteristic of a particular individual. This can be complimentary, ironic, or even derogatory. The most common nicknames were simple and concrete, such as Lewis or Lerid. Metonymic bname identify a person occupation by naming a tool or product or sold. More complex characteristic bname exist, although usage was generally less frequent than simpler forms. Other English characteristic bname refer to article of clothing or events. Complex, cryptic nicknames are rare and even absent in some European language. Examples of significant English nicknames include Shakespeare and Havishia Cribbs at best. In England, surnames were first adopted in the 3rd and 4th centuries, with most people using surname by 1400. Surnames derived from medieval bnames, converted through sequential generalization. By the 6th century, King Henry VIII decreed that marital birth be recorded with the father's surname. In the United States, the first known instance of women insisting on retaining her birth name after marriage was Lucy Stone in 1855. This practice has increased in popularity since the 1960s, 1970s, and 1980s, but remain a minority practice. As of the 21st century, over 80% of American women still adopt their husband's surname after marriage. Okay, that's all my resume of this article. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.